Okay, let's dive into this one. Seriously, imagine this. You wake up, total amnesia, right? There are dead strangers around you, and the only thing talking to you is a computer asking math problems.
Yeah, sounds like a complete nightmare scenario.
Exactly. But for this one science teacher, it was somehow just the start. The chaotic, messy beginning of this desperate, galaxy-spanning mission. So our deep dive today, it's into this really fascinating, detailed account. It feels personal, often absurd, ultimately heroic, or maybe forced heroic is better, all to save humanity.
And what's really captivating, I think, is just how fast the stakes climb. You go from this personal confusion, this who am I, straight to the survival of, well, two entire species.
Two, right.
Because the core problem, it's simple but terrifying. Our sun is dying. It's being slowly eaten, essentially, by this alien microbe called astrophage.
Astrophage.
Okay, so this exploration, we're going to peel back the layers, look at the ingenious science, the sheer grit involved, and these really surprising turns of fate that all lead to humanity's last, maybe only, hope.
Right. And our mission, for you listening, is to pull out the key knowledge, the surprising bits from this guy's unique experience. Think of it like your shortcut to understanding what happened, but also why it's such a big deal. It's arguably the biggest scientific challenge humanity's never faced, and we see it all through the eyes of this, well, reluctant hero. Okay, let's jump right into that chaos at the start. Our guy wakes up, totally dazed, on some strange bed. He tries to talk, but his mouth isn't working right. Like, leave me alone comes out, LRML, and hello is just hell.
Such noise, yeah.
And meanwhile, this computer just keeps at him. What's 2 plus 2? What's the cube root of 8? But even with his mind wiped, you see his personality, right? He gives the smart aleck answer. 2 times e to the 2i pi. Just testing the machine.
And that initial confusion, it's not just plot. It sets up a really critical theme right away. How do you figure out what's real when your senses are gone, your memory's gone?
Yeah.
Well, he instinctively falls back on the scientific method. It's almost primal, observe, measure, deduce. His training, even though he doesn't remember having the training, just kicks in. It's this need for a logical process to make sense of, well, of everything.
Exactly. And then he realizes he doesn't even know his own name. He tries, seriously, nothing. The computer just says incorrect.
Right.
But his science brain is still whirring away. He finds a stopwatch, a test tube, times how fast it falls. Then he makes this pendulum out of a tape measure and some string. Simple stuff.
Incredibly simple.
And from that, he figures out he's not on Earth. The gravity's higher.
And the elegance of that pendulum experiment, performed by someone with no memory, it's kind of profound. The swing time, the period, it only depends on length and gravity. That's it.
Wow.
So to instinctively grab onto that fundamental physics, use basic tools to measure something so core about his environment while he's in total crisis. It really shows how science can be an anchor, right?
Yeah.
Where everything else is just gone.
And then comes this really grounding, almost humbling realization. He is a scientist, sure, but he's a classroom teacher, a middle school science teacher.
Yeah. Not exactly astronaut material, you'd think.
He gets this flash of memory, teaching kids about the planets, Jupiter's basketball, Mercury's a marble, that kind of thing. It's such a stark contrast to this insane high-stakes mission he's somehow on.
It really grounds him. And the story.
So, okay, he's figuring out who he is, sort of. But then the what hits him, the real horror. It comes through this memory, a conversation with a woman named Marissa. The sun, our sun, it's dying.
And not just dimming a bit, like some minor fluctuation.
No, actively dying, like going out.
And the cause is completely alien. This microbe, astrophage. It's an extraterrestrial life form.
Yeah.
And it's absorbing the sun's energy. That's what's causing this thin red line phenomenon they could see from Earth.
The thing the Japanese probe Amaterasu first spotted.
Exactly. Those weird sunspots who vaguely remembers tracking. That was the astrophage multiplying, spreading across the sun. It's like a silent cosmic infection.
So, into this mess steps Strat, the Dutch ESA administrator. And she is something else.
Oh, yeah. She's portrayed as intensely pragmatic.
Right.
Ruthless, even. Just cuts through all the usual red tape.
Her attitude is basically, look, there's no time for committees arguing. The sun is dying. We need a fix now. My job is to find it. Period.
Gets things done, no matter what.
And the timeline they're facing is just chilling. Climatologists are predicting total global collapse, mass extinction in like 30 years.
The sixth extinction event, they call it.
Yeah. And there's this awful scene he remembers explaining this to kids, and they just laugh. 30 years, that's forever. It's just Heartbreaking. Shows how dire things are.
And these astrophages, the cause of it all, they're incredible, almost impossible scientifically. Our guy, through his own research back when he had memories, finds out they basically just absorb X-rays. They're immune to the sun's worst radiation.
Wow.
He describes trying to vaporize them at 2,000 Celsius, and it's like nothing happens. Like shooting a .50 caliber round at a sheet of paper and having it bounce off. That's the quote.
Unbelievable.
And get this, they emit infrared light at a super precise frequency, the Petrova frequency, 25.984 microns. That's their signature. And they actually use the momentum from emitting that light to push themselves through space.
They're like tiny living solar sails.
Pretty much. And they maintain this constant internal temperature, 96.415 degrees Celsius, just shy of boiling water. Shows how tough they are.
And the personal cost for our hero, the teacher, it's huge. Strutt basically admits she used him as a guinea pig for astrophage research.
Yeah, she says, okay, it's exactly like that, because she couldn't risk the astrophage killing off, quote, all the most brilliant minds on the planet.
So she risked him instead.
Right. And his first big breakthrough, it came from just poking it with a stick. Well, a nanosyringe, technically. But still, that simple, direct approach yielded results.
So, okay, the stakes are clear. Humanity's doomed. This leads to Project Hail Mary. It's this massive international effort, right? Thrown together super fast on a Chinese aircraft carrier.
Absolutely. Scientists, political people from everywhere, Americans, Russians, Chinese, everyone. A real all-hands-on-deck moment for the whole species.
And the mission, what was the actual goal?
Well, the astrophage wasn't just hitting our sun. It was spreading through the local stars. Epsilon Eridani, Sirius, this dim star WISE, 0550714.
A whole cluster.
Right. So the Hail Mary mission was to go to Tau Ceti. Why? Because it was the only nearby star that wasn't infected. The goal was to find out why. Find the answer there, bring it back, save Earth.
A desperate gamble, basically. Fly into the unknown hoping for a miracle.
Pretty much. And speaking of astrophage, this Russian scientist, Dmitry, he made some wild discoveries about them.
Oh, yeah.
He figured out they store incredible amounts of energy, like 1.5 megajoules per single cell, which is enough power potentially for interstellar travel itself.
Using the enemy as fuel.
Exactly. He even jokes darkly, we have many alien spaceships, we call them astrophage, and then adds that his research was very illuminating.
Gotta appreciate scientists' humor, even at the end of the world.
Definitely. And the Hail Mary ship design reflected this. It was huge, propelled by spin drives, fueled by astrophage. These drives gave constant 1.5 G acceleration.
So slightly heavier than Earth gravity, constantly.
Right, for years, which meant the crew couldn't be awake. They needed medically induced comas, a technology developed by a Dr. Lamai just for this. Super risky, keeping people in comas that long.
And the ship's shielding, also astrophage.
Yeah, brilliant, right.
Yeah.
Astrophage slurry coated the hull. Fuel and radiation protection, using the problem as part of the solution.
Wow, okay. But then things went wrong. Badly wrong.
Tragically wrong.
Yeah.
The primary science specialist, Dr. Dubois, and his backup, Dr. Shapiro, they died. A lab accident.
What happened?
They were testing some very, very unlikely scenario with a generator, but there was a mix-up, a requisition error. They got 1 milligram of astrophage instead of the 1 nanogram they requested.
Oh, no. Milligram instead of nanogram. That's
1 million times more.
Yeah.
It resulted in 1 million times the heat energy released than they were expecting, vaporized the whole building instantly. Just gone.
horrifying and completely avoidable. That underscores the danger they were dealing with.
Absolutely. Which leads directly to our protagonist getting roped in, or rather, dragged in.
Right. Because after the accident, they needed a replacement scientist, and fast.
And Strat reveals he has this rare genetic combo that means he's basically the only other qualified person who might survive the long coma.
And she knew this all along.
Yep. She confesses he was secretly her tertiary backup, her third choice. She'd made sure he was in all the key meetings, absorbing the information just in case.
Wow. He must have been furious.
Furious is an understatement. He calls her a coward and full of shit. He refuses. He has to be literally dragged, kicking and screaming, onto the ship.
So much for noble sacrifice.
Exactly. He says it himself later. I'm not some intrepid explorer. I'm a terrified man who had to be literally dragged, kicking and screaming onto the mission. It wasn't heroism. It was coercion, born of desperation and his own deep fear.
Okay, so let's jump forward. Light years later, he arrives at Tau Ceti. And things get even weirder, right?
Oh, yeah. The next huge aha moment. He detects another ship near Tau Ceti. Not human. An alien vessel, the Blip A.
And this leads to first contact with the alien he calls Rocky.
Rocky. Yeah. One of the most unique, I think, and really well-realized aliens in recent sci-fi. He's pentagonally symmetrical, 5 arms, 5 legs, 5 eyes. Rock-like skin.
And he talks how?
Through music, like musical notes and chords. Rocky-ure, that's his language. And numbers. They use base 6.
Yeah.
Our hero figures that out pretty quickly, which is amazing in itself.
Translating math across species. Wow.
It really highlights the challenges, but also the potential of finding common ground through logic and math, even with totally different biology.
And the most amazing thing is why Rocky is there, right?
Exactly. That's the kicker. Rocky's star, 40 Eridani, it's also infected with astrophage. His mission is identical to our hero's. Find out why Tau Ceti is immune.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, on a galactic scale.
Precisely. An instant, desperate alliance forms between these two, beings from different worlds.
And we learn so much about the Iridians through Rocky. Their world, Arid, is incredibly hot.
Extremely hot, yeah. About 210 degrees Celsius, ammonia atmosphere, super close to its star. They're described as steam-powered, like biological smelters that get oxygen from minerals.
Whoa.
They have space elevators using this super material called xenonite, but they never actually left their own orbit until the astrophage forced them to.
And their sleep is weird, too.
Yeah, it's total paralysis. So they have this social norm where they have to watch each other sleep for safety. Imagine that. And maybe most surprising, they don't have computers, not like ours. No thinking machines.
A whole civilization, interstellar travel, capable without computers.
Makes you think, doesn't it? About different paths to intelligence, different technological priorities.
Okay, so the two of them, unlikely partners, start investigating Tau Ceti. And they find the answer on one of its planets.
Right. Tau Ceti E, a planet Rocky named Adrian. They discover astrophage are actually breeding there. But there's something off about the numbers.
An anomaly.
Exactly. Equal numbers of astrophage flying to the star and away from it, which strongly suggests
Something's eating them. A predator.
bingo. That's the massive breakthrough. They find Tamiba, a natural predator of astrophage. Rocky is ecstatic. He's like, this is amazing. We find predator, we take home, eat astrophage, breed, eat more astrophage. Star is saved.
The solution, finally. But there's always a but, isn't there?
Always a catch. The Tamiba, they discover through experiments, die in nitrogen.
Oh. And Earth's atmosphere is...
78% nitrogen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big problem. Iridian air, Rocky's air, is mostly ammonia. Nitrogen is fine for them, even necessary for some life. So that explains why the Tamiba didn't just naturally take care of the astrophage back on Adrian. It couldn't survive well enough there either.
So they have the cure, but they can't bring it home safely. What do?
They need a live sample, a really robust one from deep in Adrian's atmosphere, which means this incredibly dangerous fishing trip.
Fishing trip. Sounds understated. Totally. It involves making a 10-kilometer-long chain out of that iridian supermaterial, xenonite, and dragging it through the planet's scorching atmosphere from their ship, all while trying not to get incinerated by the planet's heat or their own ship's engines.
Oh, no. Nuts. Utterly desperate.
And it nearly kills them both. The ship gets badly damaged entering the atmosphere. Rocky actually rushes into the human section of the ship to save our guy, and his own cooling system, his radiator, catches fire.
Oh my God, he saved him.
He did. But then, in a moment of trying to help Rocky with his burns, our hero accidentally blows the protective scabs off Rocky's wounds. It's this moment of intense interspecies care mixed with, well, painful clumsiness.
Ah, man. But they got the sample. And did they solve the nitrogen problem?
We got the sample, and yes, the solution again comes from clever science and adaptation. It turns out Tamiba can be made resistant to nitrogen. They just needed to be bred selectively in increasingly nitrogen-rich environments.
Like training them.
Exactly. It wasn't that they couldn't survive nitrogen, just that they hadn't evolved the resistance yet. They could speed up that evolution.
Yeah. Okay, so now they really have the cure. Time to go home.
Well, here comes the impossible choice. Our protagonist calculates he has just enough fuel to get the Tamiba back to Earth.
Yeah.
Or he could take Rocky back to Arid first to save his people.
Oh, wow. Not enough for both.
Not enough for both return trips. And there's the relativity problem, too. If you go straight to Earth, 13 years will have passed there. He'll be younger than his students would be. And he knows Rocky's ship is basically dead in space. He'd be abandoning his friend.
So save his own species, his own world. Or save his friend and his friend's world.
It's brutal, and it really makes you think, what is more valuable? Your species, your home, or this bond, this principle of helping someone who helped you, even across species? It pushes loyalty and compassion beyond just human boundaries.
What does he choose?
He chooses Rocky. He decides to go to Arid first. There's this line where he's thinking about his own likely death, and he just goes, stop. Whenever I think about my impending death, I think about Rocky instead. He must have a sense of hopelessness right now, I'm coming, buddy.
Wow. That's huge. Not the logical choice, maybe, but...
A deeply emotional, deeply human choice, ironically. Friendship over species survival, in a way. He picks the friend.
So does he make it to Arid? Do they save Rocky's people?
Yes. It's described as a bittersweet reunion. He finds Rocky's ship, damaged, adrift. They manage to reconnect the ships with another Xenonite tunnel, and they share the final piece of the puzzle. Tamiba 82.5, the fully nitrogen-resistant version they cultivated, which can even burrow into Xenonite.
So they save both worlds.
Well, they save Arid. And he sends probes with Tamiba back towards Earth. He has to hope they make it, but he stays on Arid.
He stays. He doesn't go back to Earth.
He stays. The final part shows him living on Arid. He's become a teacher again, but this time he's teaching Iridian children about human science relativity, quantum physics.
Full circle, the teacher ends up teaching aliens.
Exactly. In this special dome that mimics Earth's environment, with artificial sunlight cycles, to the Iridians, he's this strange, leaky space blob. And to him, Rocky is still his friend, the scary space monster. He wonders if he'll ever see Earth again, if his friends are okay, if the probes, the beetles he sent got through. It's a quiet, kind of poignant ending.
Wow. What a journey. So, okay, wrapping this up.
Right.
What does it all mean? This whole deep dive. Waking up with amnesia, ending up teaching aliens.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It really shows how science, sure, but also friendship and just sheer stubborn grit, how they can overcome these completely unimaginable odds. It's a testament to the human spirit, right?
Yeah.
And the Iridian spirit, too, I guess. Even a reluctant hero can step up.
Absolutely. And if you connect it to the bigger picture, his story, it's not just about saving a son or even two. It's about science being this potential universal language, a bridge between totally different kinds of minds. It's about the surprising bonds you can forge when everything's on the line, the huge ethical choices you face. And maybe, just maybe, it suggests that life, intelligent life, might be more common out there and maybe more relatable in weird ways than we tend to think.
That's a big thought.
It is. What does that possibility really mean for us? For humanity's future, our place in this huge, possibly crowded galaxy?
So for you listening, what stands out most from this deep dive? Was it the sheer absurdity of it all, the brilliant scientific problem solving, the sacrifice, that incredible friendship? How do you think you would have handled waking up in that situation? Lots to think about there. We'll leave you with those thoughts.